Hey guys, it's Liz. Welcome back to my channel. Today's recipe, I'm going to show you how to make these yummy samosas. Look how nice and crispy they look. We're going to make them from the beginning to the end. We are not going to skip any step, just in case we have people here who are just learning, who have never made samosas. I'm going to teach you how to make the dough, how to make the pockets, and how to seal the samosas, and also how to prepare your ground beef that goes inside these samosas. So let's go ahead and get started. For my recipe today, I have 3 cups of all-purpose flour. As you can see, the big one has 2 cups, the smaller one is 1 cup. And then we are going to add water to it. And then we are going to work on our dough. Make sure you have water on the side and a little bit of flour, just in case. For example, I'm going to need to add a little bit of water. All right, so now we're going to work our dough. I'm going to put a little bit of flour until I get the consistency that I want. So here is a dough. It's coming together really nice, and you're going to knead this dough for a few minutes. All right, it's not that quick. It's just that I don't want this video to be too long, so I had to cut some clips. So go ahead and sprinkle a little bit of your all-purpose flour to dust your work surface. For the size of the dough that I have, I'll be working on it for 5 minutes. After about 5 minutes, I'm going to put this dough in a clean bowl. I'm spraying this just to make sure that my dough doesn't get stuck on the bowl. All right, so just grease it a little bit, and we are going to let this dough sit for the next, you can do half an hour, but mine will sit for about an hour while I cook the ground beef or the minced meat. Anything from 30 minutes to an hour is totally fine. All right, so cover it with cling wrap or cling film. So while that is waiting, here I have my ground beef that has been cooking, and I'm going to go ahead and put my spices. Definitely put spices of your own choice, whatever you have in your kitchen, to just make sure that your ground beef tastes good. Here I have hot pepper, so if you don't like hot peppers, skip this step. But to be quite honest, they are not as hot when the samosas are done. So there we go. This ground beef is ready, and here I have the rest of the good stuff that is going into it. We start with the onions and give it a good mix. At this point, I have turned off the stove. I'm just going to let them cook slowly from the heat that is already in the ground beef, and then the rest of the cooking will happen when I deep fry the samosas. Next, we're going to add our green onions or scallions and give it another good mix. Oh, this is looking so good. And then we're also going to go ahead and add the cilantro or the danias or coriander. Make sure that you guys, the stove is not on at this point. You don't want to overcook your cilantro. Just give it a good mix and cover it, and it will just cook slowly by the heat that is already in the ground beef. All right. And here it is. As you can see, our cilantros are a little bit cooked, and the onions, and the rest will happen when we deep fry the samosas. See, looking good. Now here we have our dough. It's been sitting for about an hour. Okay, here it is, and as you can see, it's looking nice. It's very smooth. All right, look how the dough is looking good. That's why you let it rest before you cook it. Oh, this is the best part, you guys. Look at that dough. Look at that dough. I'm going to stretch it out so that I'm able to cut the small pieces that I want for my samosas. So just stretch it out, and because it's been resting for about an hour, it's very easy to stretch it out. This is the size. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this into these small pieces. This is what we're going to use to make our samosa pastries. So put this aside. All right. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take each one of these pieces and mold it into a small circular, kind of like a little ball. All right, here is another one. And I'm going to go ahead and work on these others. And here they are. So I'm going to go ahead and put this aside so they are not on my way. And what I'm going to do is work on each one of these little round balls at a time. Cover them with your kitchen towel so they don't dry up. You're also going to need some olive oil or any liquid oil. It doesn't have to be olive oil. It can be any liquid oil, cooking oil, and a little bit of flour, maybe half a cup. I know I have like about 3/4 of a cup here, but you need about half a cup. That should be just fine. All right, so take a little bit of that flour and let's get started. All right, so you're going to start making your samosa wrap or pastry. I'm not sure what it's called. What do you call the bread? I think it's a pastry or a wrap. All right, you're going to start by making 3 of them. Don't worry so much when you stretch this out if it's not a perfect circle. In fact, it doesn't matter whether it's perfect, whether it has corners or anything, because I'm going to show you guys how to get a perfect circle out of this at the end. So just stretch them out anyhowly. And you want 3. I'm going to show you 2 different ways to make this. To be quite honest, you can use even as many as 5, but let's do 3 and 2. All right, dust it a little bit with your all-purpose flour. Turn it. Now that we have our 3, we're going to go ahead and oil this one here. Make sure you oil it nicely. And then we are going to go ahead and sprinkle a little bit of all-purpose flour. Okay. And then you're going to take one of the already stretched dough or wrap and put it on top of the one that you just oiled. And then you're also going to oil the one that you just put on top. Repeat the same thing and then sprinkle a little bit of all-purpose flour. And then you're going to take the third one and put it on top. All right, there it is. Now you're going to sprinkle a little bit more all-purpose flour and we're going to go ahead and stretch this out again. Remember how I told you don't have to worry about the perfect circle? Even with this, you don't have to worry. So just keep stretching it out. We're going to go ahead and turn it. Stretch it out. And now this is when we're going to shape our dough. And you take a lid, here is my lid, and press it down. And here is a trick. You want to get it round. You can do this with samosas or chapatis. If you don't have a dough cutter that can give you a bigger chapati type of circle shape, just use your lids. They'll work. But you have to do this based on the size of your cooking pan. All right. So make sure that you know the size of your pan. And then you just cook it a little bit, just for a few seconds on each side, and you take it out. Take it out. Let's make the next one. And I'm also cooking it on low, the lowest you can go with your stove. The lowest. Otherwise, you're going to overcook them and your samosas will break. All right, let's stretch this one. This one I'm going to use 2. If you find it easier to use 3 or 4, that's fine. But I want to show you how to also do 2 at a time. But in case you're a beginner and you're just learning how to make samosas, it might be just easier to work with 2. So it doesn't give you a headache trying to separate them. All right, stretch it. Don't worry the shape. Just stretch it. As long as you get something that looks like round or oval, you're good. Even rectangle, even square will just be fine. Whatever shape you get. All right, because we're going to apply our little trick at the end and get a perfect circle. So add some oil. All right, make sure you have enough to cover the entire surface. And then sprinkle a little bit of your all-purpose flour. And then what we're gonna do is take the other one, take this one here, and put it on top. And there you go. See? Just like that. And then we're going to stretch it. See how I'm not worried about the shape? Don't worry either, because it'll drive you nuts if you start trying to make a perfect circle at this point. All right. Just keep stretching. Be gentle, but again, bear in mind the size of your cooking pan, because if you stretch too big, then you're going to have some problems when you start cooking it. Turn it. All right. And stretch a little bit more. And I think this is good. There you go. See, that's perfect. All right. And now I'm going to go get my lid and do the trick. And there you go. Here it is. And we got a perfect circle. All right, do this even with your chapatis. If you can't get them to be round nicely, just stretch them out and use either a dough cutter or anything, a plate, anything in your kitchen that will give you a perfect circle will be fine. But I want to stretch it a little bit more because my cooking pan is slightly bigger than what I got when I cut it with the lid. All right, and that's good. And we're gonna go ahead and cook this. And don't grease or oil your cooking pan while you're doing this, please. As you can see, I'm not using any oil. As soon as it bubbles, a few seconds, you turn it. There you go. And as soon as that bubbles, you take it out. And it's ready. Here is what we have. No grease, no oil. Each one cooked on very, very low. The lowest you can go on your stove for just a few seconds on each side. The next thing we're going to do is now try to separate them. This one is the one that had the two. So we're going to separate these so we get both of them separated. So here you go. You just peel it nicely. It's easy to peel. As you can see, it's not that hard. I get the job done. There you go. All right. See, just like that. All right, and then this one has 3. It's the first one that we did. So you're going to try to separate them. Let me move this so you guys can see. Separate them. Let's take the first layer. And there you go. And then we're going to find the other one. See, there it is. But let me turn around so you guys can see. Where did I see it? Here, right here. Okay, and separate that. And that is what you want. You see how thin they are? That's what you want. All right. I have another one here. This one has 3 also. There. And there you go. So that is that. And now let me show you what we have here. This is all we got. See how thin they are? And you can see they are not overcooked, because if you cook them, you're gonna have some problems. All right, so this is good. So what you wanna do at this point is take each one of them and fold them like this. You wanna get these quarters, because now we're going to be ready to make the samosa pockets. So you fold it like this and you cut it into 4 pieces, like 4 triangles, I guess. All right. You want to end up with 4 pieces like this. I'm going to do this off camera to save time. And here we go. See, that's what you want. All right, so the next thing you want to do is make your paste, or kind of a glue to glue your samosas. And this is the consistency of the paste. It's just water and all-purpose flour, no sugar, no salt, no nothing, no eggs. All right, that is the consistency you want. And we're done with that. We have our ground beef ready. And let's start making the pocket. As you can see, I have a lot of this. I'm just going to make a few and show you guys, and then I'll make the rest later. Make sure the longer side face you. Now, it's facing me because I'm on the other side of the camera. So this is how you fold it. Make sure that when you fold, you bring it towards the center. And then after that, you put your paste. You can use your finger for your paste, or you can use a butter knife. But I happen to have a little brush that came in handy for samosas. So, but if you don't have a brush, just use your finger. Now you're going to take the other side and gently place it on top of the side that you just added your paste. Press the corner with a finger, and this is how you seal it. See how easy it is? You press the corner, make sure the corner is pressed so it doesn't open up. Right, seal everywhere. And now we're gonna put our ground beef. Make sure you use a teaspoon, not a tablespoon. Right, and gently press it down. Be careful when you press it down so it doesn't pop out at the bottom. All right. And then we're going to brush our top part with the paste. Again, if you don't have a little brush like this, use your finger or a butter knife. Those will do, or even a spoon. All right, and then now we are going to tuck it in and close it. And then press the corners to seal, and there it is. See, that's easy, yeah? Always the longer side facing you. Hold, bring it towards the center. Paste, and see, it's not that hard. And then you take this other side here and you press it on top of it. And you seal it and make sure that the point at the bottom is nicely sealed. All right, let's put some ground beef. Be gentle as you put it with a teaspoon, not tablespoon. And then we're going to brush our top part with the paste. You tuck it in gently like that. And you fold it. There you go. You close it. Press the corner. See this corner here? Make sure you press completely, no holes. If you leave holes open, you get oil in there. And your samosas will be soggy. All right, let's do the last one. Again, remember the trick is the wider part is facing you. Fold and repeat the same thing we just did. There you go. See, it's not that hard, yeah? And it's fun too. Remember to put your paste and at the bottom just a little bit, because that corner can be very tricky and we don't want it to open up. Fold, all right, press with your finger and press it and make sure it's nicely closed and everything is sealed. Add your ground beef. Okay, so I'm adding about a little bit less than 2 teaspoons, but it's pretty much about 2 teaspoons here. Okay, but again, it depends on the size of your samosa, all right? Because if your pan is bigger and you can cook a wider wrap, whatever you call it, then yeah, you can add maybe 2 or more teaspoons. You tuck it in. And you seal it. All right. And here is our samosa. Make sure everything is closed, as you can see. So that's how you make the pockets and fold them. And here they are. And make sure they are nicely sealed. As you can see, make sure everything is completely sealed so that when you start deep frying them, nothing opens. So let's go ahead and cook this. Our oil is hot. And you start dipping them gently. Don't burn yourself. Once in the oil, we're gonna cook them for a few minutes until they turn golden brown. And I'm going to cut this and you will see how they look in just about a couple of minutes. See, they are nicely cooking, but we want them to be completely golden brown before we take them out. So you guys can see that the seal is not opening. That means that they were sealed correctly. If you don't seal them correctly, they will open up while you're cooking them. It's not gonna be nice. You're not gonna like it. All right, you definitely don't want oil to get inside your samosas. All right, so gently turn them and we're going to cook until they are nicely golden brown. Be careful here with this hot oil. All right, see, they are cooking nicely. And now you can see, you guys, our samosas are nicely golden brown. And that's the color that I wanted. So I'm going to go ahead and take them out. So check the other side. See, both sides are golden brown. So let's take them out. See, nice. You can see how nicely they cooked. All right. Here they are. Here are the samosas, you guys. They look nice. They smell nice. They taste good. They are crispy, crunchy. That is how you make samosas. And I like to squeeze a lime on mine. I don't know how you like yours, but as you can see, it is not that complicated to make samosas. It is easy. So go ahead and make them and let me know how you like them or how you cook yours if you already cook samosas. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. That's all for today. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't, and do not forget to turn on the notification bell because when you have the notification bell on, it means the next time I post a video, you'll be among the first people to be notified. Have a wonderful day, a wonderful night, and God bless. Bye.